G'day guys, Ricky here from Perth Bullion Exchange, perthbullion.com.au, and we thought we'd do a bit of a explanation video, and we're going to talk about some of the pros and cons, I suppose, between bars, rounds and coins, and why you might buy one or the other, and just a few of the reasons I think, some had disadvantages over others. So we've got the bars, obviously there's a few different sizes there. We've also got some rounds here to show you and a various array of coins. So people often have different reasons for buying metals, and typically it's going to depend on your exit strategy, in my opinion. So we'll start with the bars. We've got a 100 ounce bar here, kilo, a 10, 5 and 1 ounce. And this is all in my opinion, so take it with a grain of salt. Everybody do your own research, it's not financial advice, but bars typically are going to offer you the lowest entry point per ounce, the lowest premium I should say, and allow you to get the most silver for your money. So that's obviously going to be most true the larger the bar size. So your 100 ounce is obviously going to be your lowest cost, followed by your kilo, and then progressively increasing per ounce as you go right down to a 1 ounce bar. I know there are some smaller bars, half ounce and things like that, but we don't have any of those here today, and I don't think that they typically fulfill the desire of a person who's buying bars either. So the main reason you buy bars is just obviously lowest cost humanly possible. You're not too worried about getting out. The advantage of bars is that you're going to pay such a low premium that when it comes time to sell, which is the most important part about all of this, your exit strategy is essentially going to dictate where you go in your stack, because an exit strategy with bars is obviously you've paid the lowest premium possible. You can take it back to a bullion dealer. You're going to get spot. If you like ourselves, we pay spot with a second dealer in Australia to do that. So if you take it back to a bullion dealer, you're going to get spot, and having paid the lowest premium possible, whether that's $1 or $2 over spot, you're going to get back most of your money for what you've paid. Now, the next section, we might do the coins first, because I feel like the rounds maybe touch off both advantages and disadvantages. So obviously the disadvantage of the bar is it's going to get a low collectability factor typically. Like if you buy a kilo bar and you want to sell it in the secondary market, you're not going to attract the sorts of premiums that you're likely to find in a coin. And as you go down in size, what I've found personally is that once you get down into, like, say, your 1 ounce products, things like that, the premium that you pay on a 1 ounce bar, in my experience, is closer to a coin than a round. So more for the bigger sizes, the disadvantage being that if you time to get rid of it, you're not going to get the secondary market for it. You're also getting rid of higher volumes. You can't sell half a kilo bar. You have to sell a kilo. So if you were short $500, whether your rego was due or anything like that, you can't sell half your bar, you've got to sell the whole thing. And also it's a higher price point entry, so a kilo might be going for $1,500 at the moment, so unless you've got $1,500 to spend, it's a pretty big chunk of change to come into the market at. Now the coins, now we've got a few different ones here, 1 ounce, 2, 5, and 10 ounce and kilo. So the coins, the advantage of the coins is most of them are made by obviously sovereign mints. Most of these are Perth Mint, so they've got additional security features on them. A lot of the time they'll come encapsulated, especially once you get out of the 1 ounce size. There is a few in the 1 ounce size that aren't encapsulated. The difference with these is you're often going to get a premium on the secondary market. So this ties back to your exit strategy. So if you're the type of person who would spend the time on Facebook or anything else for that matter to sell these to 20 different buyers if you wanted to get rid of your stack, and you're happy to do that and spend your weekends running around and chatting with people on Messenger and things like that, you, especially in the Lunar Series from the Perth Mint, there's a very good chance that you're going to get all of your premium back that you've paid. And again, not financial advice, and past performance is not an indication of future performance, but especially in the Lunar Series, you're typically going to get back your premium, and you might even make some of your premium additional to what you originally paid. The disadvantages is once you move out of a 1 ounce size, the cost benefit versus the bars starts to erode. So once you get up to a kilo coin, you lose the divisibility of the smaller denominations, and you start to see an increase in premium on some of these coins as well, per ounce, I should say, comparative to the one. But yeah, some people only want to buy sovereign mint stuff, get some recognisability when it comes time to sell it. You can potentially get some extra premiums, but if you're selling back to a bullion deal, you're still only going to get spot. So if you buy a 1 kilo coin with the intention of, when you do find that the price is high enough for you to want to exit, you're going to get the same for a 1 kilo Lunar as what you're going to get for a 1 kilo Perth Mint bar, and you're probably going to pay twice the premium or something similar to that, without plucking figures out of the air. But you're going to lose that premium either way. So that's when selling back to a bullion dealer, you might look towards the bars in any case. Now the last category here, and just as a note, we will do separate videos on these where we will split out the individual sizes and brands and advantages and disadvantages. But the last category for this video is the rounds. Now, rounds for me, I think, fill a bit of a sweet spot between these two. So typically in the smaller sizes, the 1 ounces, 2 ounces, and even a lot of the time in the 5 ounces, rounds will attract a lot less of a premium when you're purchasing, and you maintain the advantage of divisibility. So yes, the disadvantage of the bar is that you can't chop it up, and once you start to get into the smaller sizes, the premium typically goes up. Whereas the rounds tend to offer the cheapest premium for an entry point when you're at that 1 ounce, and even in your fractional sizes. So 1 ounce through to, it sort of grays over in the 5 to 10 ounce range. So your 5 ounce rounds are probably very similar to a 5 ounce bar. The difference with the rounds as well is there's so much more variety. So there's only a few sovereign mints out there. There might be, and look, I could be completely wrong here, but in my mind, there's probably 40 or 50 designs you can get in coins. I would suggest that there's probably closer to 1,000 different round designs you can get. There is a never-ending list of rounds, so it does allow you to buy some things with a bit more uniqueness, and rather than just stacking one coin, you can get a lot of different things for a really low premium, and allows, so you've got the divisibility still and the low premium of the bars, slightly more than the bigger bars, but still lower than the coins. So you get a bit of best of both worlds, in my opinion. Now, the only thing, some of the downsides is that not being a sovereign mint, they're not as recognisable. In a chaos world where we're trading silver for products, you might think that that isn't going to give you the recognisability to allow you to trade, and people buying these. Also, you're not going to get the premium back. Typically, there are some, like in a lot of the Scottsdale products that we stock, that have a good following, and you will see a lot of the premium back, but typically for rounds, you're going to lose most of your premium, likewise with the bars, but you get more divisibility. So if you need to sell 10 ounces, you can sell 10 ounces, whereas if you've got kilo bars, you can't do that. So just in my opinion, and again, not financial advice, if people were to ask me this question around which way to go, I'd actually recommend personally, if you've got a reasonable amount of money to spend, and I know this might be high for some people, it might be low for others, but take what you want from it. I would recommend potentially getting a couple of kilos to sort of get your base for your core stack. So you've got some value tucked away, low premium, and you don't get attached to kilo bars. So you can sell these whenever you need to. And then for some divisibility, I would actually recommend some rounds. They're low cost, and then that way you can sell 10 ounces or 5 ounces or 2 ounces for that matter as you go, as required. And then I would sporadically buy some of the coin products, and I would recommend leaning towards the Perth Mint stuff. It does have a lot more of a following and collectability, especially in the Lunar series, but there's other series as well, like the Wedgetail, the Brumby, Emu, so on and so forth, that do attract a collector's premium. So I would sporadically buy some of those, and you can do your own research in the secondary market. There's plenty of great Facebook groups out there, Gold Silver Stackers Australia especially, and you can see what these have done in the past, like comparative to what was paid for them in premium versus what they're attracting now. So I would pick and choose amongst these, pick a few that you like, grab those, have some divisibility in your low cost premium rounds, and then have the core of your stack where you've got a few kilos to sort of buffer that out. And that sort of gives you some of the pros and cons of all of them without being stuck with all the net downsides of any one of these products. So you can have your recognizability of the sovereign coins, you can have your cheap divisibility of the rounds, and you can have the low cost, low premium bars to sort of build out your stack. And that's just my opinion, so do your own research. But as I said, we're going to do some more videos like this. We hope you enjoyed it. We'll break these down further in some other videos. So give us a follow on YouTube. You can head over to perthbullion.com.au, and we've got most of these products. If you've seen any of these products here, they're likely online. So if you are interested in any of this or anything else, you can head over there. Otherwise, like, share, subscribe, follow us for more info. Thanks so much for watching, guys.